There's one thing that I've been wanting to talk about specifically to graphic designers on the Upwork platform, especially the newcomers, the rising talent. Maybe you've made your first $1,000 on the platform and you've just got your top rated badge and you're looking to establish more of a great client base. Competition is pretty fierce when it comes to graphic designing, logos, any overall branding type of service is really competitive, especially if you live here in the United States, because think about it, you're competing against people on Fiverr and people who are on Upwork that live in parts of the world where they have almost damn near the same skill sets as a lot of people here, and their cost of living and their overall price of service is minimal compared to what would we would be able to compete with here. So how can you stand out from the crowd of people who are looking for a particular type of service from a particular type of service provider? And that's when it comes down to being a specialist in a particular category of your business. And I want to go over specifically for graphic design. And if we just search graphic designer, because let's say I'm looking for specifically for construction, someone who specializes in construction graphic design. I'm not going to know just based, if I'm a client, I'm just going to look at what I see here. This person, Jake, specializes in modern logo and branding. Okay, bold, minimal logos. I don't kind of want that. I want something kind of, maximalist for my construction or plumbing company. So I'm going to see like, oh, I wonder if there's anyone here that specializes in construction. Now let me search for somebody like construction graphic designer. So you see like the frustration from clients as well on Upwork is when people are searching for a particular service and it doesn't pop up like the first 2 or 3 times that they want something, they're just going to leave. Because they're not going to go past probably the 4th line. Just exactly like on Google, like you're not going to go past the 3rd, 4th page for a service. The first 2 is where you're going to end up at. Every time that you're forcing the client to go through this journey of cycling through page after page, they're just going to go somewhere else that has more direct type of service. So this is why some friends of mine that are also in the digital marketing space on Upwork, I tell them like, hey, make sure you have profiles that specialize in a certain trade, especially if you're just starting out. That way you're that much higher above the competition just out the gate, instead of just competing with a generic tagline like graphic designer, logo creator. Okay, what makes you stand out from everyone else besides your profile image and the first 2 lines that you have here? Because a construction company would trust an up-and-coming designer that has a specific skill set that they feel comfortable with immediately just by looking at what their title says. So if I see a freelancer on here that says construction graphic design specialist, I'm going to immediately, that's exactly the service I'm looking for. I'm going right in. And then what you do is now in your bio, you complement your title that you had here for construction based graphic design. And now you set up your offer about what you do, who you cater to within the industry. Maybe you have also service plumbing, carpentry, cleaning, janitorial, whatever it may be. You're setting yourself up for success laterally with all of these different types of service within the same niche, service-based businesses. And I recommend, especially if you're a brand new graphic designer and you're not getting any hits organically, this is probably the best place for you to start, is specializing in a certain platform. And then you're going to also want to make sure that you have your project set up as a new graphic designer as well. You want to make sure that you have, especially if you're going to specialize in a category like construction or maybe tech, and you do a lot of graphic design work for startups, make it known in your projects here. And Upwork allows you to have up to 20 projects. And in one of my other videos, I'll make sure I link it to this one, I specifically talk about how projects on Upwork are actually used as a tool for lead generation. Because if they want to talk about their project first, they're going to come across it here, and then the client will reach out to you. Like if I click on this guy's here, and then I want to send him a message about it. I had to switch over to my client account real quick. I want to talk about, let's say, just pretend this is a construction project for service. I'm gonna send him a message, be like, hey, can you create a logo and maybe a flyer for my construction company? This is the idea that I have, yada yada. And that's how you start the conversations with projects. And this is what I do with marketing too, because marketing, or specifically, Instagram marketing, is very competitive on Upwork. But my edge is I'm always updating my projects. I have all 20 filled out, all with key terms, all with case studies. It took me literally a week to go through setting up all of them properly with great designs. I'm always changing the copy on there to make sure that these freaking projects are at the top of mind. But people don't buy those projects directly. They'll message me first, and then I send them a custom proposal. And from there, that's how I get those jobs, not necessarily purchasing it through the project area directly. And no one utilizes it. You know why? Because it's a lot of work for people to set up and go through that. Because Upwork isn't just about outreach and sending proposals out. It's about also attracting clients with your offer and exactly what your specialty is. So keep that in mind when you're on Upwork. It's not a rat race. There's different ways that you can maneuver, but if you're doing what everyone else is doing and just sending proposals, some of the worst clients are actually the ones you have to send proposals to. The best clients are the ones that don't even post jobs. They're the ones that message freelancers directly. So if you get a direct message from a client, those are people that are looking for a specific service from a specific person who has the skill sets that they've already seen just visually by searching you up. So keep that in mind, especially you guys that are new on the Upwork channel. Just keep that in mind when you're making your profile. Try to specialize in a certain category of design work first. And this goes for any niche. You can really double down and just specialize in one area first, and then you can broaden your scope after when you already have enough, ammo with reviews and all that. And then from there, you can just cater generally as you rank higher throughout the platform. But you got to put in the work first in the beginning. But the easiest way to, go through the path of least resistance is to allow clients to find you who are looking for that specific service. So that's all for me, guys. I hope, this was helpful. Like and subscribe. We'll talk soon.